Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Carlisle Connection podcast. This is our special series about the annual town meeting warrant and the various articles residents are being asked to consider. Before we get into today's topic, I want to introduce the panel. My name is Ryan McLean. I'm the town administrator here in Carlisle, and I'm joined by...
My name's Andrew Amendola. I'm the chief of police in Carlisle.
Welcome, Chief.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to talk today about canvassing and soliciting, and it's in a bylaw, so that's extremely exciting. People are tuning in right now to this video and podcast, very excited to hear this. And town meeting voters will be asked to consider this article on May 18th at 6 p.m. in the Corey Auditorium of the Carlisle Public Schools. So please come out and debate and discuss this article and all the other articles that we have on the warrant. So, Chief, you've been here for a few years now. You're doing a great job. What do you like about being in Carlisle? Do you love town meeting? What are the various things we should know?
Yeah, no, thanks for having me on the podcast. I have been here for 3 years now. I like the town of Carlisle. It's a great community. Through things like town meeting, you get to see people come out and, show their display of what they want to see, how the town's governed, and I think that's important. So, it's been... Town meetings generated some good conversations. I've been involved with the police building in the past. That's been moving on, and excited to see where it goes with the fire department as well.
Yeah, the renovation's going. I'm hoping to get a tour sometime.
Come on in.
It's been a little busy with town meeting, but we'll get there. Also, it was like 80 degrees yesterday. Why has there not been a cone with a cop yet?
It's true. Kimball's is open, so we're working on that.
All right, enough fun. We're here to talk about Article 22 of the annual town meeting warrant, which is the canvassing and solicitation bylaw. So as I understand it, Chief, we have a bylaw right now. We're proposing to replace it with this one. So what is the current bylaw and what are the changes? Yeah,
so a lot of the changes that you'll see, it's really just tightening it up and strengthening the bylaw in favor of the residents of Carlisle. So it puts together a better process, an application process for the police department through my approval. It now has a fee associated with it, so that will hopefully help generate some revenue for the town. And then there's a revocation process now, an appeal process that's been put into place, as well as a much stricter non-solicitor list, where if somebody's on the list, and we now have ways to pursue that.
And people do call the department and occasionally complain about this activity?
Yeah, so one of the things that spawned this idea was the amount of complaints we were receiving from the residents with solicitors in the neighborhood and things like that.
So canvassing and soliciting, simple definition, what is that? Can you give me an example if someone who doesn't understand this bylaw?
Yeah, so canvassing is somebody out there that's, whether it's selling a product or soliciting a product, traveling. I'm sure many of us have encountered somebody trying to sell replacement windows is a big one. So things like that when people are out in the neighborhood. What this does is it allows the person to be out in the neighborhood. So it's not, so it protects really the residents from somebody out there trying to defraud them or maybe case the neighborhood for a future break-in. So it just puts a legality to the process. And we know that the people that are in those neighborhoods are supposed to be in those neighborhoods doing that, so.
And if someone wanted to come solicit now under the new bylaw, what would they have to do? What would be the process?
The process would be to come to the police station, get an application, fill out the application. We do our check through the application, followed by an ID issued so that they're identifiable, a fee that's paid, and approval by the chief of police.
Okay, and this was reviewed by town council. One of the questions the select board had on this that I think is important to discuss is it doesn't prevent people from religious solicitation. Right?
Correct.
Nothing
Yep.
First Amendment can be violated by this. I do think there's a question about Girl Scouts.
Yes. The question about the Girl Scouts is
Selling cookies.
Selling cookies
door to door.
That's really not applicable in my opinion here. It's more so for people that are out in the neighborhood selling products, not our everyday neighbors that are part of the Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts that are out there selling cookies and things like that.
All right, great. So this bylaw, in your opinion, strengthens your ability to keep the community safe and unharassed.
Yeah, it strengthens our ability to keep the community safe and to allow the residents to have a little bit more voice in the way that things are being conducted and how that, instead of just calling in a complaint, it now allows us to follow through with the complaint and to have a little bit better of an action towards that. So,
all right, for those interested in process, this was, as I said, reviewed by town council. There was public input on this. People sent in their suggestions that you responded to, Chief. I do appreciate that. Like the no solicitors list came from public feedback, and voters and residents will have a chance to discuss it on town meeting floor after they see it. It's fully printed in the warrant article for transparency, and we are doing this riveting podcast and video to discuss it, so people will know what they're voting for.
Exactly.
Well, thank you for your attention to the town and for issues like this. I appreciate you coming out for this podcast and video to provide this information. We're talking about Article 22 of the annual town meeting warrant, the canvassing and solicitation bylaw, fully listed in your warrant book, which will be out soon. Please reach out to us with any questions you have about it, and we will answer them prior to town meeting, and we'll see you at town meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.